I guess before I do much of anything, like first I'm going to get this hood off here, then I'll go from there. I'll put it up on the left. Oops. It's smashed up here anyway. I guess this didn't have the tow package, but at any rate, give it a little look over. It didn't look too rusty under here. I did see this rocker was starting to go though. This rocker too was starting to go. This may have been in better shape than the one I'm putting the engine in. Rust-wise in the bottom. But this pillar, that pillar is crushed in, and so was the dog leg here. Too bad to be really repaired well. I'll tear this apart just so I get this on camera. Pretty sure I've got everything unplugged. There might be one or two things still holding on, but I'll find them when I start pulling it out. I don't have any helpers this time, but I think I'll be okay. I think I've done this enough times to figure it out. That really didn't go that bad. The only thing that really kind of hung up on was this motor mount on the side here. I had to undo that, and instead of swapping the Jeeps out just yet, I'm gonna cut the rocker off this side just to figure out what size tubing I'm gonna use, and then I'll roll this thing outside and I'll be done with it. I don't know, I'll probably scavenge a few more parts off it, like the axles and whatnot, but for now we're just gonna do the engine. Looking at this underside, it looks like this Jeep was in better shape, like rust-wise, than the other one. It's too bad this one got totaled, but if it didn't, I wouldn't have it, so oh well. So this is a lot different than the ZJ. How they got these WJs set up is you got the outer panel that the molding goes over, and then there's a piece in the middle that comes right through the pinch weld. Now in the ZJs that was just on the front, if I remember right. And I don't know, by cutting this off, I'm not going to be able to weld to it obviously on the inside. So overall, probably doing this the same way isn't going to add any strength. I don't know how much it'll hurt it. I don't know, it's just different. But they're rotted out on the other body I have, so I have to go ahead and do it anyway. I got another 2x6 piece like I used on the ZJ will do just fine here also. Haven't really gone online to see what other people use, but oh well, I'm not other people, so I think that'll work for me, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, got this tan colored goldish silver Jeep body pulled in here, got the other one out, and doing spark plugs now. Figured to do those while the engine's out, and I've got an old one here, and check out that electrode there, if it'll focus, compared to the new one. Guess it was time for some new plugs. Alright, I got the spark plugs in, I got the new thermostat in. I'm gonna wait and do the water pump while it's setting inside the vehicle, lift it up a little more, be a little easier. And the oil pan gasket and rear main seal along with oil pump. I'm gonna do that while it's in the vehicle so I don't have to try to beat that rear main seal half moon piece out while it's dangling on a chain. Although I don't think it's going to be easy trying to work around that axle either, but that's what I'm going to do. Even though I just barely pulled this engine, I'm kind of having trouble remembering where all the lines went and all that stuff. I mean, it's pretty simple to figure out, but I'm not exactly sure how this rat's nest of wires kind of routes around those dipstick tubes there and down to the starter and whatnot. But it's going pretty smooth, can't complain. Now that the water pump's up, a little higher off the ground. I'm going to change that out too before I put the radiator on, because that'll make more sense. I got the oil pan dropped out of this, and I didn't have to jack the engine up or anything, but I left those mounts loose just in case I did. Anyway, I've already replaced the rear main seal, and it was pretty straightforward. Here are the old pieces of the rear main seal, and you have to take the back brace off. Well, excuse me, you have to take the bearing cap brace off, which is this thing that runs the whole length of the engine, and then you've got your last bearing cap here in the end, and there's just the two half pieces. One you got to tap up and through the engine block, and the other one stays in the cap when you take it off. I got those replaced. Put the cap back on, everything torqued down to what it's supposed to be at, and I'm also replacing the pump with a Performance high flow pump. It was actually cheaper than the stock replacement, so that's why I went with it. There's a lot of talk on the internet about the pros and cons of it, but it was cheaper, so we're gonna see what happens. But I have to install the pickup tube, which is going to be kind of a pain in the butt. This one doesn't come, clean myself up here, doesn't come with it installed, and it presses in to the top here, and you've got a little tab here that locates it and keeps it from falling off, I guess. So I'm going to try popping that in. I'm going to put a wrench on the end here and just kind of tap it in with the hammer. Some people say they freeze this and heat this up low heat, like 200-ish degrees, and that should go pretty simple. Got that pickup tube installed and the pump up in place. I just froze the pickup tube in the mini fridge for about an hour, and yeah, it's kind of a pain, but it bopped right in. I didn't bother heating up the oil pump housing. Anyway, I've got this up in place, finger tight, without the gasket, and I just grabbed the pan and kind of put it up in place, and the pan is still, you know, kind of nasty. I haven't cleaned it out. There's still gunky oil in there, and I, like I said, put it up on there, and I don't see anywhere on here where it made contact. I would see an oily patch. It didn't sound like it hit. It didn't feel like it hit when I rapped on it with my knuckle. So I think we'll have plenty of clearance. Well, I don't know what plenty, but there's clearance. Everything I was looking at online said I was going to have to modify the pan, kind of beat it with a hammer to get this to fit, but I don't know. All the other pans that I kind of saw reference of, people talking about online, there was like a valley that set down in here, and that doesn't seem to be present on this pan, which is a 2004. So maybe they changed it so they would actually work together. So I've got the engine all set and put together, and I think I've got everything all topped off, all the fluids, so I can try to start this. I know once I run it a little bit, I'm going to have to top off everything again, but I'm going to run it now, see what happens, and if everything's good, I'll put the front end on. But this is the first time I will have attempted to have started it.